Gypsy Rose claims that this is her 1 week postpartum, whereas this picture shows that she is bigger at 1 month pregnant. So I am going to predict that she's had the baby probably about 2 months ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're diving into yet another chapter in the ever-evolving story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. After her highly publicized past and the whirlwind of events that led to her eventual release from prison, Gypsy has been navigating life as a free woman. But this time, the spotlight is on something entirely different: her postpartum journey after welcoming her long-awaited baby girl, Aurora Aka. While many had hoped this new chapter would bring stability and a quieter life for Gypsy, recent events have proven otherwise. Gypsy has made her way back to social media, breaking her own promise to keep her personal life private. This time, it's a TikTok video that has people talking, speculating, and yes, criticizing. The video in question shows Gypsy flaunting her postpartum body, and it sparked a firestorm of reactions. Let's unpack this step by step, starting with the post itself and the immediate fallout it caused. Gypsy posted a TikTok video set to the sound of Bounce Back, clearly emphasizing her postpartum recovery. In the clip, Gypsy appears energetic, swinging her hips and moving with ease. She captioned the video "Postpartum Recovery" and overlaid text reading "Almost a week postpartum and already feeling energetic." If that wasn't enough to get people talking, she included the hashtag #ActiveMom. But here's the thing, the public did not buy it. From the outset, many pointed out that her body did not seem to bear the typical signs of having just given birth. Her fit and toned appearance raised eyebrows, and people began to speculate. Was this video real? Had she even been pregnant? And if she had, was this baby truly her biological child? Theories flew across the internet faster than wildfire.
But I just wasn't interested in posting videos about my body on the internet. I had a newborn that I had to attend to, and I wanted to attend to. So I think this also shows you where she is at as far as being nurturing and mothering, which we already know she's not that person, just based off of who she is.
Some commenters justified their skepticism by pointing to her incredibly quick recovery. Others pointed out the suspicious lack of a visible postpartum belly. There were even those who claimed her stomach looked the same as it did during her pregnancy, suggesting the possibility of surrogacy or an earlier than announced delivery date.
Gypsy Rose claims that this is her 1 week postpartum, whereas this picture shows that she is bigger at 1 month pregnant. So I am going to predict that she's had the baby probably about 2 months ago.
One particularly pointed out comment read, "She has no bottom pouch, just a torn one." How is that possible if she just gave birth? To make matters more interesting, many took the time to dissect every second of the video. Observers noted the lighting, the angles, and even the way Gypsy moved. Some argued that her ease of movement, her swinging hips, and confident demeanor was far from what one would expect just days after giving birth. For a first-time mother, especially one navigating postpartum recovery, it seemed almost too perfect. Others questioned her choice of sound and caption, feeling it was more about showing off rather than being honest or relatable about the challenges of motherhood. Then came the hashtags. #ActiveMom in particular drew fire. Critics felt it projected an unrealistic and potentially damaging message. One commenter argued, "What kind of example is this setting? Women shouldn't feel pressured to bounce back days after giving birth. It's not normal and it's not healthy." Another echoed this sentiment. Being active as a mom is about being present for your child, not proving how good you look after giving birth.
I remember when I first became a mother. Now I have a lot of kids, I have 10 kids, but I remember my firstborn coming into this world, and it was almost like a natural high. I remember for the longest time, I was elated. I couldn't get over the love I felt for this little person. I couldn't get over wow, I made her. I'm somebody's mom. That feeling to me was just, I'll never forget it. And for Gypsy Rose to not make a statement about her baby, but selfishly make a statement about how good she looks 6 days postpartum is exactly that. To me, that is completely selfish. I couldn't talk about how much I loved my baby enough. And again, I'm a mom of 10. I remember that about all of my children. Just that I created a new little human, and, this is my baby, and I love her so much, and, motherhood, and, we've all been there, but it just shows how completely selfish Gypsy Rose is as a person to make it about her and her looks.
As discussions spiraled, others began to dig deeper into Gypsy's past statements. Some pointed out inconsistencies between her current post and previous comments about her pregnancy. For instance, Gypsy had spoken about embracing the natural changes pregnancy brings to a woman's body. So why now was she seemingly reversing that message by flaunting a bounce-back narrative? The contradictions only fueled the fire of skepticism surrounding her post. Beyond the physical scrutiny, Gypsy's behavior became a focal point. Critics questioned her priorities. A common sentiment echoed across this comment section. Shouldn't a new mother be focusing on bonding with her newborn rather than posting TikTok videos? One comment summed it up bluntly. Being a firstborn mom means your whole world revolves around your baby. Social media should be the last thing on your mind.
But for now, I wanted to share her since deleted birth story because I think it's very important. But in all seriousness, I'm glad Gypsy's able to get up and dance around and show us that she's an active, fit mom, because that's what we care about. And I do hope baby Aurora is doing well, obviously. I think we all are. We're all praying for the baby. But y'all, something's askew.
And they weren't wrong. For many, the term active mom doesn't equate to posting on TikTok or reading through comments. It's about sleepless nights, endless diaper changes, and forging an unbreakable bond with your baby. Gypsy's priorities, however, seem to suggest otherwise. Her actions did not stop with the video either. Gypsy spent time replying to comments, liking posts, and engaging with her audience. This level of engagement left many wondering, where was the baby during all of this? Was she relying on someone else to care for her child? Or was she neglecting her newborn's needs altogether? A recurring theme among critics was the idea that Gypsy's focus on her online persona overshadowed her responsibilities as a mother. One reply in particular caught attention. When someone called her a queen and celebrated her account's return, she responded with, "Because I am the boss B of my account. Ain't no way he was gonna get away with that shit."
Okay, one commenter writes, OMGGGF Queen finally got her account back. Gypsy replies, "Because I'm the boss B of my account. Ain't no way he was going to get away with that SH. T," and then there's a smiley face. And side note, speaking about getting her account back, Christy said in a live, the Gypsy will get to keep all of that money. Gleefully exclaimed it.
For someone trying to present themselves as a reformed and responsible mother, this response did not sit well with many viewers. Critics described it as unclassy and tone deaf, especially given the gravity of her new role as a parent. Adding to the controversy was the perception that Gypsy's priorities seemed self-serving. Some argued that her online interactions and responses hinted at a need for validation from her audience rather than a focus on adapting to motherhood. The discussion became a broader critique of how social media can distort the perception of what it means to be an active and attentive parent. As more people analyzed her post and her responses, the timeline of her pregnancy came into question. Gypsy claimed she gave birth to a healthy baby girl, despite previously announcing that her baby was expected to arrive weeks later. How then did she manage to deliver early without complications? And why did her postpartum body seem to recover so quickly? Gypsy's comment describing her birth experience added fuel to the fire. She wrote, "I had the best birth experience. I went to the hospital 6 centimeters dilated, had my epidural, and a few hours later was numb and pushed for 15 minutes. Did not feel a thing. She's a healthy baby girl."
She says, "I had the best birth experience. I went into the hospital 6 centimeters dilated. I had my epidural and a few hours later was numb and pushed for 15 minutes. Didn't feel a thing. She's a healthy baby girl."
While her words painted an idyllic picture, they left many unconvinced. One commenter pointed out, if she gave birth early, wouldn't the baby have been premature? How is she claiming everything was perfect and the baby was healthy? Some even accused Gypsy of lying altogether, suggesting the possibility of surrogacy or a staged pregnancy. Others speculated that she had given birth weeks earlier than she let on, orchestrating the timeline to align with her social media narrative. These theories were not without basis. Gypsy's history of fabricating stories loomed large in the minds of skeptics. Questions arose about the logistics of her delivery. If Gypsy had given birth in hospital, why were there no leaks or sightings from staff or patients? Hospitals are busy places, and while privacy is important, it's unusual for such a high-profile individual to go unnoticed. Some speculated that Gypsy's inner circle might have signed non-disclosure agreements to keep the details under wraps, further adding to the air of secrecy.
There are a lot of questions, and I was actually speaking to Ivy Rose last night, and what she said made a lot of sense. She had this baby a week ago, and nobody's seen any pictures of them going into the hospital, leaving the hospital, seeing her in the hallway. Nothing. No pictures have surfaced. Something is not right.
Moreover, her social media activity did not align with what many would expect from someone recovering from childbirth. Critics pointed out that her engagement on TikTok seemed almost premeditated, as though she had prepared herself for the backlash and had responses ready to counter any skepticism. The mystery surrounding her pregnancy only deepened as followers revisited past inconsistencies, fluctuating belly sizes during her pregnancy updates to the alleged hacking incident conveniently coinciding with her due date. Everything about Gypsy's narrative felt meticulously curated. Whether this was a case of poor timing or deliberate effort to control the story, the public remained divided. Adding to the intrigue was Gypsy's claim that her TikTok account had been hacked shortly before her postpartum post. According to her, the hacker not only took over her account but also demanded money in exchange for its return. The account had reportedly been used for live streams to solicit money, which Gypsy later stated she had recovered along with her account. But here's the thing. Many felt the timing was just a little too convenient. The supposed hacking incident happened around the same time as her delivery. Some theorized that Gypsy had staged the entire hacking drama to shift public attention away from her pregnancy timeline. After all, how else could she explain the lack of hospital sightings or public announcements? For many, the crux of the issue lies in Gypsy's apparent obsession with her image. One commenter noted, "She cares more about how she looks after pregnancy than the life she brought into the world." This sentiment was echoed by countless others who felt that Gypsy's priorities were misplaced. Even her engagement with admirers showed a level of self-absorption that did not sit well with many. When someone commented, "You're looking awesome, baby girl, love you," Gypsy replied, "Love you too." The exchange felt more like a celebration of her own appearance than the joy of motherhood. All of this raises a larger question. Is Gypsy truly ready to be a mother? From her fixation on her postpartum recovery to her active engagement on social media, many are left wondering if Gypsy understands the responsibilities of motherhood. After all, this is the same woman who once lived a life consumed by lies and manipulation. Has she truly turned over a new leaf, or is this just another chapter in a long line of self-centered behavior? Normal first-time mothers often describe the early days of motherhood as an all-consuming experience. Their lives revolve around feeding schedules, sleepless nights, and bonding with their newborns. Social media is often the last thing on their minds. Yet, Gypsy seems to be living a completely different reality, one where her image takes precedence over her child. So, where does this leave us? Is Gypsy postpartum post just a harmless glimpse into her life, or is it indicative of deeper issues? Is she genuinely trying to connect with her audience, or is she using her platform to maintain the spotlight? And most importantly, will she rise to the challenges of motherhood, or will her self-centered tendencies overshadow her ability to take care of her child? As always, the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard remains shrouded in mystery and controversy. Her latest actions have only added more layers to an already complex narrative. What do you think? Is Gypsy's behavior a sign of neglect, or is the public simply holding her to an impossible standard? Let me know your thoughts in the comments as we wait to see what's next in this unfolding saga.